Discover the country where socialism succeeded. Imagine living in a country where they tax nearly 50% of your income, lend out spouses, and yet you live happily. Kinda crazy, right? Welcome to Denmark, a country located in Northern Europe, part of the region known as Scandinavia. Specifically, Denmark occupies a geographical position in Northern Europe on the Jutland Peninsula and consists of about 406 islands, the largest being Zealand, Funen, Lolland, and Bornholm. Denmark borders only Germany to the south along the Jutland Peninsula and is surrounded by the Baltic Sea to the east and the North Sea to the west. Its capital, Copenhagen, is located on the island of Zealand, in the east of the country. This strategic geographical position between the Baltic Sea and the North Sea has given Denmark a long maritime tradition and has greatly influenced its history, economy, and culture. Denmark's economy is one of the most advanced and prosperous in the world, characterized by a strong emphasis on international trade, a comprehensive welfare system, and highly developed infrastructure. Its currency is the Danish krone, and $1 equals 6.9 Danish kroner. We see that the dollar is valued against the Danish krone, but our price is cheap for us Americans. Stick with me until the end of this video to find out. Denmark's economy is a mixed market economy, characterized by a high standard of living, comprehensive social welfare, and a strong emphasis on innovation and sustainability. Despite being a relatively small country in terms of population and territory, Denmark has a robust and diversified economy. While agriculture represents a small part of Denmark's GDP, the country has a highly efficient and modern agriculture sector, focusing on dairy, pork, poultry, barley, and wheat production. Danish agriculture is highly mechanized and characterized by high standards of quality and sustainability. Industry plays a significant role in the Danish economy, focusing on sectors such as food processing, pharmaceuticals, medical technology, wind energy, maritime, and industrial equipment. Danish companies like Novo Nordisk, Maersk, and Vestas are global leaders in their respective sectors. The services sector is the largest contributor to Denmark's GDP, accounting for about 3/4 of the country's economic activity. This includes a wide range of industries such as finance, information technology, tourism, transportation and logistics, education, and healthcare. Copenhagen, the capital, is a major financial and business center in the Nordic region. The country has a flexible and highly skilled labor market, with historically low unemployment rates and a strong collective bargaining system. Wages are relatively high, reflecting the country's high standard of living and focus on social equity. Denmark has a highly open economy and relies heavily on foreign trade. The country is a major exporter of products such as machinery and equipment, pharmaceuticals, food and beverages, and green technology. Its main trading partners include European Union countries, the United States, and China. The country has a strong tradition of innovation and investment in research and development. The country is a global leader in renewable energy, with a large part of its electricity generated from sources such as wind and biomass. Additionally, this Nordic country is recognized for its progressive environmental policies and commitment to sustainability. However, a topic that attracts much attention is the high taxation in this country. Denmark has one of the highest income tax rates in the world. Income tax rates are progressive, meaning that the more you earn, the more you pay in taxes. Denmark has a standard value-added tax (VAT) rate of 25% on most goods and services. There are also reduced VAT rates for certain items such as food, books, and public transportation. But ultimately, taxes can reach up to 50% of an individual's income who works in Denmark. The high taxes in Denmark fund an extensive social welfare system that provides essential services such as universal health care, free education, subsidized child care, generous unemployment insurance, and public retirement. The progressive tax system and social spending help reduce income inequality and poverty, ensuring a relatively high standard of living for all citizens regardless of their socioeconomic status. Taxes fund high-quality public services and infrastructure, including efficient public transportation, affordable health care, and high-level education. This contributes to a high quality of life and overall satisfaction among Danish citizens. The robust social security system, funded by taxes, provides an economic safety net for citizens, ensuring protection against adverse events such as unemployment, illness, or disability. Despite the benefits, high taxes can be seen as a burden for many taxpayers, especially those with higher incomes. This can affect economic competitiveness and attractiveness for foreign investment. There are ongoing debates on how to balance the need to finance social services with the need to maintain economic competitiveness and prevent tax evasion. Taxes play a crucial role in shaping Danish society, funding a comprehensive comprehensive social welfare system that promotes equality, social cohesion, and a high quality of life for all citizens. However, they are also the subject of ongoing debates and discussions about efficiency, fairness, and economic competitiveness. Speaking of salaries in Denmark, they are quite interesting, and a beginner can already start earning $2,000 per month. An experienced worker can earn up to $6,000 per month, while programmers or technology specialists can earn over $7,000 per month. These are indeed substantial salaries, and you would certainly live very well in Denmark with such a salary. Now, are product prices affordable for those earning in dollars? Well, Denmark is a country with a high cost of living, but also with some of the highest average salaries in Europe. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Copenhagen varies from $1,000 to $1,600. Utility bills for electricity, water, and gas range from $135 to $205. The monthly cost of groceries in Denmark can vary from $240 for home-cooked meals to $600 for dining out. A meal at a casual restaurant costs between $20 and $27. A cup of coffee costs $4, a liter of milk costs $1, and a kilogram of meat costs $20. Gasoline costs $2 per liter. If you're buying a used car, prices are quite accessible, as you can buy a mid-range car for $10,000. With about 6 months of work, you can already afford a BMW in Denmark. To save some money in Denmark, cook at home, as eating out in Denmark can be expensive. Cooking at home is a great way to save money. Use public transportation, as public transportation in Denmark is efficient and relatively inexpensive. Take advantage of free activities because there are many free activities to do in Denmark, such as visiting museums on specific days of the week or going for walks in parks. The cost of living in Denmark can be high, especially if you're used to living in a country with a lower cost of living. However, the high salaries and quality of life can offset the costs. It's important to research before moving to Denmark to make sure you're prepared for the cost of living. Now let's understand a bit about the history of Denmark. Denmark has a long history of human settlements dating back at least 12,000 years ago during the Paleolithic period. Germanic tribes migrated to the region around 2000 BC. Between the 8th and 9th centuries, the Danes, along with Norwegians and Swedes, conducted maritime expeditions known as the Viking Age. They explored, conquered, and colonized large areas of Europe, including parts of the UK and France. In the 10th century, Denmark was Christianized, mainly influenced by German missionaries. This led to political unification under a Christian king, and Denmark began to consolidate as a state. During the Middle Ages, Danish monarchs expanded their territories, including parts of Sweden and Norway. King Canute IV established a Nordic empire that included Denmark, Norway, parts of Sweden, and England. In 1397, Denmark, Sweden, and Norway were united under the Kalmar Union, with Denmark dominating the union. However, internal and external conflicts led to the dissolution of the union in the 16th century. The Protestant Reformation had a significant impact on Denmark. King Christian III introduced Lutheranism as the official religion in 1536, leading to the dissolution of monasteries and the confiscation of Catholic church lands. The period between the 17th and early 19th centuries was marked by monarchical absolutism in Denmark, with kings exercising almost unlimited powers. Frederick III was the first absolute monarch. Denmark faced several wars during this period, including conflicts with Sweden and Prussia. Territorial losses, especially to Sweden, and forced neutrality during the Napoleonic Wars contributed to a gradual decline in Danish power. In the 19th century, Denmark underwent political reforms that led to the gradual democratization of the country. Industrialization also began to gain momentum. During World War II, Denmark was occupied by Nazi Germany from 1940 to 1945. The Danish government initially collaborated with the Nazis, but in 1943, the Danish resistance organized an operation to evacuate Jews from the country to Sweden. After the war, Denmark emerged as a democratic and prosperous country. Joining NATO and the European Union brought stability and European integration. Today, Denmark is a parliamentary constitutional monarchy and an active member of the international community, playing a significant role in global politics and economics. Its history reflects a mixture of Germanic, Scandinavian, and European influences, shaping its unique national identity. Now let's talk about the geography of this country. You'll be impressed. The topography of Denmark is predominantly flat, with an average elevation of only about 31 meters above sea level. The country is characterized by vast plains, especially in the Jutland Peninsula, which comprises most of the Danish territory. However, there are some gentle hills and rockier coastal areas, especially along the western and northern coasts. Denmark has an extensive coastline, with many coves, bays, and islands. The most important Danish islands include Zealand, where the capital Copenhagen Copenhagen is located, Funen, and the island of Bornholm in the Baltic Sea. The coast is generally low and sandy, with coastal dunes in many areas. Denmark's climate is temperate, influenced by the proximity to the Atlantic Ocean and the North Sea. Winters are moderately cold, with average temperatures ranging from 0°C to 4°C. Summers are generally mild, with average temperatures around 15°C to 20°C. Precipitation is distributed throughout the year, but summer months tend to be drier. While Denmark is not rich in natural resources, it has some reserves of oil and natural gas in the North Sea, which play a significant role in the country's economy. Additionally, the country is known for its agriculture, with fertile lands in many areas suitable for cereal cultivation and livestock farming. Most of the land in Denmark is used for agriculture, with pasture lands and cultivated fields occupying a large part of the territory. However, there are also forested areas, especially in northern Jutland. Urban areas, though relatively small compared to the total size of the country, are densely populated, especially around major cities like Copenhagen and Aarhus. Now, very curious are the prisons in this country. Prisons in Denmark are known for being more humane and focused on rehabilitation than prisons in many other countries. Living conditions in Danish prisons are generally good, with individual cells, access to private bathrooms, television, and other amenities. Prisoners also have access to a variety of educational and vocational training programs, as well as health and psychological services. Renbæk Prison is a minimum security prison designed to resemble a village, with individual houses for the prisoners. Prisoners have access to a variety of amenities, including a library, a fitness center, and a garden. The Danish prison system is based on the philosophy that prisoners should be punished for their crimes, but they should also have the opportunity to rehabilitate and become productive members of society. Danish prisons focus on providing prisoners with the skills and support they need to live a crime-free life after release. It is important to note that while Danish prisons are generally considered more humane than prisons in many other countries, they are still prisons. Prisoners are deprived of their freedom and are subject to a range of rules and restrictions. Living conditions are generally good, with individual cells, access to private bathrooms, television, and other amenities. The Danish prison system is based on the philosophy that prisoners should be punished for their crimes, but they should also have the opportunity to rehabilitate and become productive members of society. Luxury prisons in Denmark are a controversial topic. Some people believe they are too lenient and that criminals should not have access to so many privileges. Others believe that luxury prisons are more effective in rehabilitating criminals and preventing recidivism. Denmark is a country with many characteristics of socialism, and it's hard to find a country with a combination of developed economy and social welfare state like Denmark. The lifestyle of the Danes is enviably. Certainly, you would be very impressed in this country. What do you think about visiting or maybe living in Denmark? Would you? Would you take advantage of everything this country has to offer? Comment below. Well, I'll leave it here for now, until the next video.